Hey, hola, ¿cómo estás? Aquaba, ¿cómo está acá? To all my friends, it's been a while. Hello, your boy is back. Now, first of all, I want to apologize to all my subscribers, my fans, for staying out for a while. There's a reason why, okay? I have been working like a slave, like an animal. For like the past 2 months, I've been straight up working, and just working my butt off. All right? Now, I know somebody probably saying, what you mean you're working like a slave? To take a look at yourself, all right? If you have a job, you probably, if you live in America, you have a job, you're a slave, okay? If you have a job in Europe, wherever you are, Africa, Asia, wherever you are, if you're working on the clock for some company, you are a slave. All right? So today, I'm back at the culture shocks of places I've been to. Now today, I'm gonna talk about Singapore. Now, I've talked about Singapore before, but I've never done a culture shock video about Singapore. All right, I've talked little snippets here and there, comparing Singapore to Dubai and stuff like that. But this video is going to be entirely on Singapore, the Lion City, the most beautiful city in the world. Not just according to me, but to a lot of people. All right? Now, last year, just before the pandemic hit, I had the chance, I had the privilege, I had the opportunity, I had the blessing from the Almighty to take a trip to Singapore with my lovely girlfriend. All right? So now I'm going to share my experience, or should I say our experiences that we had in Singapore and what I thought was culture shocks in my point of view. All right? So we flew from Manila, Philippines to Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. On that flight, we enjoyed the flight. It was a 4-hour flight by Malaysian Airlines, one of the best airlines in Asia, possibly in the world. We enjoyed that flight. Beautiful food. It was lovely. We landed in Kuala Lumpur safely. Spent some time in Kuala Lumpur. And then at Kuala Lumpur Airport, when we boarded the second leg of the flight from Kuala Lumpur to Manila, there were a lot of Chinese tourists on our flight from Kuala Lumpur to Singapore. Now, we noticed, I'm talking about, this is January 2020. We noticed that all the Chinese tourists, they were wearing face masks. So at that time, of course, we didn't know anything about a pandemic or anything. I mean, the Chinese knew there was something horrible going on in China, but they didn't share it with the world. Okay, so all these Chinese people were wearing masks. And knowing me, I started making fun of them. I was like, look at these people. These people gotta have the most weakest immune system, because anytime they're boarding flights, they're always wearing masks. I was actually laughing at them. But what we didn't know that COVID-19 was already in China, and they hasn't told the world yet. So these people knew about COVID-19 in January 2020, and they didn't warn the world Okay, I am a witness to that. Okay, so we made it safely from Kuala Lumpur to Singapore. That was just like an hour and a half. It was supposed to be like 1 hour flight, but it ended up almost being like hour and a half to 2 hours because there was some kind of traffic in Singapore, whatever it was. But I enjoyed the flight. So I had a window seat with me and my girl. It was an Airbus A330. So we had a two seat to the window. And let me tell you one thing. Any flight you bought to fly from anywhere to Singapore, the airlines give you a pamphlet of rules and regulations that you have to follow when you get to Singapore. Okay? I mean, it tells you from you cannot bring chewing gum to Singapore. It tells you all kinds of stuff you cannot do in Singapore, including drugs. If you transport drugs to Singapore, it's a wrap for you. It's the death penalty. They will kill your ass. This is not a joke. Okay, so if you were somebody with a bad habit, or you know what I mean. If you know somebody that like to, puff give, do not travel to Singapore with that type of person. Okay, because these people will do whatever it takes to carry their bad habits with them to wherever they're going in the world. Okay? So, let me see. Let's get to the culture shocks. I'm going to give you 10 culture shocks I experienced in Singapore. Okay? Now, the first culture shock was on our flight about to land in Singapore. About 10 minutes before we landed, right? We were flying over the ocean, and you could see like hundreds upon hundreds of ships perfectly line up in rows, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like line up like military precision, like perfectly lined up nicely, all heading to Singapore. And it was the most beautiful thing I ever saw. I actually have a video of that on my channel. If you want to look for it, you can see. And I was like, my girlfriend, she's afraid of looking out the windows and planes, but I was like, no, you gotta see this. You gotta see this. So I forced her to take a look for a few seconds, and she was like, wow. It was amazing. The most beautiful thing, one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen from a plane. Okay. Now, number 2, when we finally landed in Singapore, Changi Airport. First of all, if you've never heard about it, let me be the first to tell you. Singapore's Changi Airport is the most beautiful airport in the world. No competition. Okay? Dubai, compared to Singapore's airport, is garbage. What else? Kuala Lumpur's airport actually shocked me. Kuala Lumpur's airport was very, very nice. Okay? I can even compare Kuala Lumpur's airport to Dubai's airport. That's how nice it was. I've seen airports in China, in all parts of Europe, here in America, most parts of the world, but Singapore airport is just ridiculously amazing. Okay, let me give you some examples. Okay, Singapore's airport have the most beautiful tiles I've ever seen in any airport in the world. And carpets, they actually have carpets like this at the airport. They have a whole section that's nothing but carpets, and beautiful carpets too. Okay? B, plants. It's like, I don't. It's hard for me to put it in words. The most amazing plants, landscaping. It's just too much to list. Floors upon floors of beautiful gardens. They even have like a butterfly garden. It's just, man, this is something you got to see for yourself. What else can I say? Let's go to sea. Like the world's biggest artificial waterfalls. Beautiful. In the airport, Changi. They have movie theaters, free movie theaters. It's it's just too much to list. Okay, let me move on. We spend hours after we landed just walking around the airport, taking pictures and looking at beautiful things. And number three, third culture shock. From the airport to our hotel in the taxi, we were like shocked. I don't think we said a word to each other, my girl and I. We were just staring out the windows like, wow. Like, wow. Singapore is amazing. Amazingly beautiful. Okay? But one thing I gotta let you know. If you're traveling from anywhere in the world to Singapore, Singapore is not cheap. Okay? I'm talking about the American dollar goes buck to buck with the Singapore dollar. Okay? Your money is not bigger than Singapore's money. It's the same amount. If you take $1 from your pocket, you're spending $1 in Singapore. All right. We got to our hotel. Of course, we got there kind of late, so we ate at the restaurants in the hotels, and hotel restaurants are always expensive. So that was our first night, so we had to. All right. Now the next morning, of course, after we did some. Of course, I'm not going to take a woman to Singapore without banging her. So anyway, the next day, the fourth culture shock about Singapore was their transportation system. Their trains and buses. Over there, they call it the MRT. Man, Singapore MRT, or subways as we call it here in New York, is the most beautiful in the world. No competition. I've seen Dubai's subways. I mean, Dubai subways not even they're not even real subways. They're over the ground. I've seen Dubai's MRT systems. It's beautiful, yes, but you cannot compare it to Singapore's. Singapore's is the cleanest in the world. Their buses too. Beautiful. And you know what I also noticed? Singaporeans actually follow rules. Like at every train station, when the train arrives, when the door opens, nobody rush to enter the train until everybody is, the people that are exiting gets out of the train before anybody goes in. And their platforms is sealed. So, it's not like over here in New York, some cuckoo person can push an innocent person into the tracks. Over there, you cannot do that because the platforms is sealed completely. All right. So, of course, from there, the first place we wanted to see was the Marina Bay Sands. Okay? That's culture shock number 5. The Marina Bay Sands. I have videos of that on my channel. You could watch that too. And I also have a little video of Singapore's MRT, their trains, their subways. You could see that. You could see how beautiful it is. You could check out on my channel. Now, the Marina Bay Sands is one of the most beautiful places. Now, I gotta give something up. As beautiful as Marina Bay Sands is, Dubai more, Dubai's more is better. That's one thing I could give Dubai. Yeah, they are more. The mall of Dubai is probably the best in the world. Anyway, let's move. Let's move on. So from the Marina Bay Sands, we walked over. I have a video of that. We shot some videos, took a bunch of pictures, and we walked from there over this beautiful glass covered bridge. We went to see the Merlion. Now, I gotta let you know something. Walking around in Singapore in daytime is Singapore is hot. Okay? Singapore is hotter than Africa. For my African friends and viewers, if you live in Ghana, Nigeria, wherever, Singapore is a lot hotter than Ghana or Nigeria or Senegal or anywhere in Africa. Okay? But one thing is, it rains, unlike Dubai, it rains in Singapore, so it balances out. And Singapore has beautiful, like, umbrella trees everywhere. It's amazing. You got to see Singapore for yourself to know what I'm talking about. Okay? Now, the Merlion area is the best and perfect place to take pictures. Okay? You on the background, you have the beautiful Marina Bay Sands there with a big, like, the boat or infinity, with the infinity pool thing on top of it. Also, you have the city background on the left side, and you got that beautiful bay, water with like boats and Asiatic ships. I don't even know what, canoes or ships or whatever on them. It was magnificent, man. It's a perfect place to take pictures in Singapore. Let's move on to number 6. Now, after doing a lot of walking, we get hungry. We have to find places to eat. Now, Singapore is not a cheap city. Okay, Singapore is a very expensive city when it comes to, like, restaurants and, find places to eat. One thing about Singapore, though, is if you're a budget traveler, they have hawker centers. That was the culture shock for me. Hawker centers. Now, this is like a huge, humongous marketplace with food stalls where you could, eat cheaply. Unless, you're rich and you want to spend like hundreds of dollars for a meal. That's the place to eat. And I believe there are hawker centers in every neighborhood in Singapore. Okay? So, my girl and I, we were hungry. We were walking around, and my girl was like, where can we find some place to eat? And I was like, you know what? I saw this fat Chinese guy, and I was like, I bet you this is the perfect guy to ask about food. He will tell us where's the best place to eat. My girl was like, okay. So he was coming to us, and I was like, hey, my friend, let me ask you a question. So he stopped, and he was very friendly, very kind. I say, bro, I'm looking for a good place to eat. Do you know any hawker centers around here? And he said, yeah, that's where I'm going. Follow me, my friend. Follow me. So my girl looked at me, and my girl was like, no. And I was like, oh, yeah. So we followed this guy. We went to this hawker center, and, he showed us, like, the best stalls to buy food from. And we tried Singapore's famous Hainanese chicken rice. And also, we bought 2 plates. I tricked my girlfriend into eating duck. She didn't even know she was eating duck until she finished eating duck. And I told her, she got pissed off for a while, but, she got over it. Because me personally, I don't understand how my girlfriend loves eating pork, okay? How you can eat pork, but you think duck meat is bad. I got her to eat it anyway. All right? The hawker centers, you could spend less than $15 for two people. Good food and drinks, which is pretty good for a city that Singapore. If you're a tourist in Singapore and you don't know the right places to to eat, the least you could spend for one person will be like $50. Seriously, to eat. It's an expensive city. Okay. Now we spent 4 days in Singapore, so I'm talking about the places that we went in different days. This didn't happen all in one day. It was different days. Now number seven culture shock was Orchard Road. Orchard Road. We went to Orchard Road. Now Orchard Road is like it's like the Fifth Avenue here in New York. Orchard Road is beautiful. It's like how can I say? It's probably like a mile long or maybe more than a mile long of beautiful, expensive stores on both sides. Best place to take pictures. Man, we took, especially my girl, she took hundreds of pictures. Okay, beautiful, beautiful places. We got to this place in Orchard Road. They have like little corner where people feed pigeons. I shot a little video of my girlfriend, being afraid of pigeons, and we ate some ice cream. We fed some pigeons, some bread. It was a beautiful experience, man. Culture shock number 8 is Sentosa Island. Okay, now I think we went there. I think on the third day of our visit. Now, my girlfriend wanted to see Sentosa Island, Universal Studios. And I was not feeling that, man. I was like, come on, man. I've been to Disney World and, places like that. So, the last thing I want to see is some Mickey Mouse beat crap. I didn't want to go. But my girlfriend was like, please, please, please. And you know what? It turned out to be one of the most beautiful places I've ever been to. I was glad I actually went. I was glad that she actually forced me to go with her to Universal Studios. It was a beautiful place. Okay? We took hundreds of pictures over there. Universal is a magnificent place. If you ever get the chance to visit Singapore, you must visit Universal. Okay? Let's move on to culture shock number 9. This is another place I didn't want to go to because I was tired. One evening, my girl was like, please, we got to go see the light show. And I was like, oh, come on, man. And she was like, we got to go, okay? We didn't come to Singapore to spend a lot of time in the hotel. We got to go see this. So I was like, all right. So I gave in. We went. And it turned out to be the most beautiful thing. Okay? Gardens by the Bay. Light show at night. For, if you're a romantic guy and you got money, you must take your woman to Gardens by the Bay at night to see the light show. Man, she will drop the panties for you as soon as you get back. Because that's exactly what happened. It was beautiful, man. I also have a video of that. Check it out on my channel. You will see what I'm talking about. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Now, I think this video is getting kind of long, so let's move on to number 10. Number 10 culture shock about Singapore was expensive cars and rich people. Now, I know population-wise, Singapore has more people than Dubai. But, I mean, of course, Dubai is a rich, small country. And Singapore is a rich, small city-state, province, or whatever you call it, whatever. But, man, I mean, I saw beautiful cars in Dubai. But, buck for buck, I think Singapore have more beautiful cars. I mean, I saw some beautiful cars in Singapore, and their roads excellent for a country that gets so much rain. Their roads is 100% perfect. I mean, if you compare, Dubai have beautiful roads just like Singapore, but Dubai gets no rain. You know, Dubai gets no rain, so their roads should be perfect. The amount of rain Singapore gets per year, and still their roads is perfect. Singapore is a perfect country, man. Now, what else can I say about Singapore? Singapore is actually the only city that I felt very safe with my girlfriend. Even at nighttime, walking around, I never felt any need to, like, get nervous or look back, or I never felt any hazard to my safety or to my girl. It was a beautiful place. Okay, it's practically the safest city in the world. I mean, I've been to Tokyo. Tokyo is safe just like Singapore, but if you compare the two cities, like Tokyo have, like, the Yakuza and this and that, which, I mean, things really don't happen, bad things really don't happen in Tokyo. But if you compare the two, Singapore is a lot safer than Tokyo. Okay, so I'm gonna end this here. My name is Yao Fosu, aka Globe Master. Subscribe to my channel. Like this video. Hey, I command you in the name of the Almighty God to like this video, or you are going straight to hell. Like this video, share it, subscribe to my channel, bro or sis. You need to subscribe to this channel, okay? Because your boy Yao Fosu is back. There's more content coming your way, and it's gonna happen. All right, let's push ourselves up, all the way up. All right, I love you. Take good care of yourself. God bless you, and cheers.